To Toffee TV, it's me, Paul Nealon from Irish Football Fan TV, and I'm here to bring the Sunday supplement, basically speaking about Everton's 3-1 loss against Man City. These are usually just a look back at the game once the dust is settled and all the kind of rawness from the game is gone. A look back over things with replays and stuff like that. So a more calmer, I suppose, approach to looking at games after they've been played. Starting off with the lineup, it was pretty much what we were expecting. Defensive midfielders again. But we were playing Man City, so we were going to have to be defensive anyway. But we went with Pickford in goal. Seamus Coleman back captain the side after sitting out the game against Sheffield Wednesday for Sidibe. And then Mina and Keaton in centre-half position and Luca Dean on the left-hand side as usual. I think the back five pretty much picks itself these days anyway, at least. Then you had Morgan Schneiderlin and Fabian Delph in midfield, and then just ahead of them you had Gylfi Sigurdsson, and then you had Theo Walcott, Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin as our front three, I suppose. And then early doors we were expected to be dominated by Man City. I was not looking forward to this game, to be perfectly honest. I was not looking forward to it whatsoever. But early doors, they get in behind Kevin De Bruyne, ball in, and Gundogan hits the crossbar. And the alarm bells were ringing at that point. Then obviously Theo Walcott went off as well quite early on. Alex Iwobi came on for him on the left-hand side. But Richarlison on the right then. But, I mean, I was expecting City to dominate us, and we were doing okay. We weren't doing amazing, but we were doing okay. They were dominating the ball. Their tempo was quite high. And they got their goal with De Bruyne puts in a fabulous ball for Gabriel Jesus. And it was a great header by him. Something in which we're kind of lacking from a striker at the moment. Albeit Dominic Calvert-Lewin did get a goal, but we'll come to that in a sec. But, I mean, at that point, when they score, we're like, oh no, how many is it going to be? But to our credit, our players, they put it up to Man City, and they could have just went into their shell and, heads down like they did against Sheffield United. But they went at Man City, and they really they showed what you need to do against Man City, basically. The only thing is we're not clinical enough. But as I say, Seamus Coleman will feel aggrieved that he didn't get the goal because obviously Dominic Calvert-Lewin stole it. I mean, if I was Calvert-Lewin, I would have done the same thing, but I'd be fuming if I was Seamus Coleman. But either way, Everton got the goal, the equaliser, and we were really dominant at that point. I wasn't as worried as I suppose I had been previously. But we were coming into our own. And I suppose that showed over large parts of the game. People were moaning afterwards saying, we felt like it's a chance wasted and stuff like that. City are a very, very good side. They're up there with some of the best teams I've ever seen in the Premier League playing. And even when they're missing players, they're still unbelievable. I know they had a bit of a makeshift back four, but still, they're clever as well. Pep has them well drilled, and we held on to not held on, but we kept them at bay for a large portion of the game. And I think that's something that needs to be admired. Okay, we didn't get the result we wanted, but after last week's performance, I think we showed much more to try and get into the game. I thought all over the park we looked really well, and I thought Seamus Coleman was fantastic throughout the game. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I suppose, in and around the box, he's done very well. Richarlison was very good. I thought Iwobi was fairly average. I was surprised. Well, I wasn't surprised to be him subbed off, but he came on that early that I wouldn't really be looking at as a sub being subbed the way they made it out on the telly. But I'm looking at our team. We showed character. We showed that we're not going to lie down and let them come at us. We had chances as well. Don't forget. Ultimately, they get their goal with Amare's free kick, the second goal. And a lot of people putting blame on Jordan Pickford, but I was watching it again on Goals on Sunday, and Chris Kamara made a good point. Just the way that they had Delph in between. I think it's Fernandinho and Otamendi. And just before they take the free kick, he actually looked, if you go back and watch it, he actually, Otamendi says to Fernandinho, let's split there. So Delph is actually the one that's blocking Pickford's view. And once it's past once past Delph, Pickford can only see it then. And you can imagine the pace that's coming at, like a top elite level player hitting that ball. Okay, people will say that's on his side and stuff like that, but I think people were being very overcritical, and especially Gary Neville. He seems to have some sort of agenda against Jordan Pickford. But I'm not saying that Jordan Pickford's, in any way, doesn't deserve criticism. Well, he does, but I just thought it was very harsh to just blame him solely on the goal. It was a really good free kick, in my opinion. People will probably disagree in the comments, but I don't, like, I was looking at it, and I'm not a goalkeeper. I've never played in goals, but from where I was looking, it looked like it was destined to be a goal, and that's that. Went right into the side netting. Like, sometimes you just got to put your hands up and say it was a top quality goal. Others will disagree. That's totally fine. That's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. You look at their players, and they've just got so many good players. They were bringing Aguero off the bench, then they were bringing on Bernardo Silva and stuff like that. But obviously they got their third goal, Raheem Sterling, and at that point, look, we just looked tired. City just dominate, and they mentally break down teams. And after Sterling's goal, then you look at Seamus Coleman, the chance he had to whip it across, but he hesitated in the box. And then was obviously the Yerry Mina chance and stuff like that. So we had our chances too. We were just, I suppose, not clinical enough. Again, as I say, Moise Keane came on, still doesn't look like he's up to the task right now. As I said before, he needs to get on them weights and start putting himself about. I do think things will change for him once he gets a goal. I think he's just lacking that one goal. I think Silva did the right thing by playing Calvert-Lewin though. And I was delighted to see Dom get his 4th goal in 3 games. It really was, because he gets so much stick because he doesn't score goals, and I think people want to see him do well. I think all Everton fans want to see him do well, but it's just he's not scoring enough, and he's leaving himself open to criticism because he's not scoring. He's not converting the chances. Maybe he'll say that the service isn't good enough, but again, looking all over the park, I suppose I thought we thought we done moderately well. We weren't amazing, but it was a much better performance than last week, and I think we can take positives out of it going forward. But next week against Burnley, it's a must win, and we need to get the win. And might be time for Moise Keane to get his first goal in that game. I do believe that we are far better than Burnley. No disrespect to them, but I look around our team, and I know we might be missing a couple of players, Gomez and that, and I think he really makes us tick. When he's on it, we seem to always be on it. Luca Dean had a very poor performance by his performance, actually, or by his standards, rather. I love him. He's probably my favourite player at the moment, but the last couple of games, he hasn't been at it. And I don't know whether that's because Bernard's been taken out of the team or what, but he just doesn't look the same player that he was the back end of last year, and kind of a couple of games early in the season. But hopefully he can rediscover that form, and hopefully we can get back to that win. I just wanted to briefly touch over the Pickford thing, where people are saying he was laughing about where he nearly made a mistake. I think he was kind of in shock. When I was looking back at it, he didn't really look like he was laughing. He just looked like he was just like, oh my God, I nearly fucked up there. That's what I thought it looked like. I don't think he was laughing and smiling the way Gary Neville made out, And I do believe that there's some sort of agenda against Pickford, because he's England's goalkeeper, that if he makes a mistake, it's 10 times worse than Hugo Lloris or someone like that, who makes mistakes all the time. A lot more mistakes, I think, than Pickford. But look, that's been my Sunday supplement. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and do you think we'll beat Burnley next week and carry this momentum on? If you want more videos from me, especially if you're Irish or you follow Irish football, check out Irish Football Fan TV, my YouTube channel, and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, a lot. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to Toffee TV if you haven't already. Thanks very much, guys. I'll speak to you all soon. All the best.